Good morning, good morning, y'all. I had technical difficulties this morning. I forgot to plug up my iPad, so when I turned it on, I only had 2%. So, yeah. Then I had to move the camera and get set up again. So, trying to make sure I'm in focus, get my camera back right. So, anyway, welcome to your Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it is Tuesday. So, how was yesterday? Did you do any writing after our live stream? I didn't, but I did a lot of brainstorming mentally. In my mind, it's like my story is finally coming alive again. And that's a good thing because I usually get my ideas when I'm sleeping or just daydreaming throughout the day. And I been opening up more to my writing friends and just some of my close friends that I can trust. I always have an issue in sharing and opening up with people. That's just I always feel like, why bother someone? So, one of my biggest critics, but closest friends, I shared the conflict I was having with my story about my MC being static, flat, boring. And she's the one who I value everybody's opinion. And I used to get so mad at her because she is just blunt and she would just tell you like it is. But when I shared with her who I wanted to be my new MC for my story, because looking over my previous draft, Aunt Ivy is elevated by all the other characters, and she was just supposed to be a red herring. But she has taken the lead and become my main character. So I shared that with my friend, and she loved it. She said, "You know what? I am so sick and tired of reading all these young girls' books and these young girls doing this. What about us older women, because we both in our mid 50s?" And that's my audience. I had to realize I wanted to make it where the younger people will be interested in reading my books, but you have to be true to yourself. You have to be true to your story. And it does have young people in my story where a younger person, such as my daughters, can open the book and relate. But the focus is Aunt Ivy. Aunt Ivy is I instead of as old as she was in my previous draft, I made her retirement age. She just retired. She's retiring or she has retired. And she loved it. She thought it was so good for me to write a book with people of color about someone our age that is in cozy mysteries. And I was like, okay, well, thank you. I just needed that affirmation. And the deal is, you really need to just be honest with yourself, truthful with yourself, go with what you feel. But it is so nice to have other people that's close in your circle that like it, that really feeling what you feel. So that was really good. That I needed that. So I thought about my story all day. I dreamed about my story. Good morning, Helene. It is so good to have you here this morning. So I'm gonna be working on that again, going step by step. I do follow the snowflake method. Not everything, not every step. And from what I was told yesterday, my friend who I introduced her to the snowflake method, and she was real hesitant at first. And until she heard the audiobook and she fell in love with it. So now when we talk, that's all she talk about is her methods in the snowflake method. And she also excuse me, it's early morning. Allergies. She also reached out to Randy Ingermanson, the author of the Snowflake Method, and he's also a fiction writer, and he writes a lot of nonfiction books too. And she got him to be a guest on her podcast. And I was like, all righty then, that is too cool. So yeah, I'm going back and revise and change a lot of things. So it's almost like another rewrite, which is cool because that's the process for me. Instead of just editing bit by bit by bit, that will probably be in the final stage. I'm going back to rewrite, switch out Bay and her tales for an Ivy, but Bay will still be in the story. And I'm not sure if I would just call her Bay. I'll just call her by her real name, which is Bailey Ray Vaughn. So, and her dad is the sheriff. So all that stays. The murderer now will be um, introduced a little sooner in the story than what I had in my previous draft. So I'm really excited about this. So, what are you working on today? Share with me in the live chat or the comments. And let's get started with a 10-minute writing warm up. Good morning, Marion. It is so good to have you here this morning. Yes, long time no see. All is well now. I shared yesterday about I had some family crisis with my mom, with the knot on her neck. And the ultrasound showed that it was a cyst. And we've been having issues with the MRI, but the doctor just wanted to do the MRI because she had a stroke several years ago. But it is going down and and down, and she had issues with what was that? The enclosed MRI. So now, by the time we go back for the final MRI, you probably won't see it. So the fact that it's a cyst is really, really good, and that is going away on its own. So there's no need for an invasive procedure. And my daughter, I talked to her yesterday. Glitch City, I know her as on. She's in California. She had came down with COVID, and she said, her symptoms are gone. And I was like, oh, bless you. Thank you, God. So she's doing better. She's doing much, much better. She scheduled to take another test there. She still have to get a negative test taken. So keep that in prayer. So yeah, everything is good. And baby girl, she started school yesterday. And I'm still waiting to hear back from Friends for Life, where we adopted our little baby puppy, or actually she's adopted us. So we're just trying to wait to get an appointment when to go pick her up. She get to spend 7 days with us before the final adoption. So I am looking forward to that. I'm losing a little patience. I'm like, girl, come on, let's go to some other shelters and find us a baby. But I'm learning to be patient. Marion said, very relieved to hear that. Yes, all is well. Thank you for keeping us in your prayers. So let's get started with our 10-minute writing warm up. Marion, share with us what you're working on today and for the New Year's. Okay, that completes our 10-minute writing warm up. Uh, good morning, crows. Oh, better late than never, but we only did the 10-minute writing warm up. Let's see. Marion said today she is editing some poems for a friend, grammar style, structures, and so far, so good. Oh, so you do editing. Oh, okay. That's nice to know. Let's see. Crow said, starting to think I'm just going to end up spending the warm up sprint, waking up and getting coffee at this point. You've got to have coffee. And I don't blame you. Look, I got my big 16-ounce cup of coffee this morning to get me started for the day. And I wish it just stayed as hot as it was when it first come out the pot, but it don't. But that's okay. It's not too bad right now. So anyway, yeah, um, let's go ahead and go into a 20-minute writing sprint. Okay, that completes our excuse me. Time is going by really fast. Let's see some of the comments. Oh, I don't know if I did this one. Crow says, I think after researching a bit, I found one that I'll be working with when the time comes. Thinking about April, it is never too soon to start preparing for April Camp NaNoWriMo. My goal for April camp, I want to do some poetry. I hadn't written poetry in a long, long time. I do haiku, but I used to be pretty good at writing poetry. And that's National Poetry Month too, is in April. So I'm going to work on that and go into the second series of my Cozy Mystery. Because I should be through with this one by April, because I want to submit the first one to an editor. You also said that Zara Hoffman does editing and proofreading. I have to check into that. Her rates are on her site. Thanks for sharing that site. Yes, y'all check into that. I need a good editor, but make sure when you do get an editor, it's one that reads within your genre. So I need to see if she does cozy mysteries. But if not, I'm planning on to venture out. My main genre for me is cozy mystery. What are y'all main genre? Are you a multi-genre author or planning to be a multi-genre author? What specific genre do you want to focus in the other genre that you want to write in? I'm gonna put it that way because I would like to do a romance story. I'm thinking about doing one for Christmas for fun. And I also want to do, well, I'm working on a children's story, a picture book. And I might consider doing a middle grade because Jen, my writing coach, has started her new press and she has open submission now for young adults and middle grades. So to be a part of that, I might venture into that genre. Um, Crow says, I forgot to say yesterday, but I love the music playing during the sprints. I find too many people just have dead air, which doesn't work well with me. I'm so glad you like music because I do hear some people say, oh, I can't stand the music in the background. So, my advice to them, just turn your volume down or off during that time. But I found that I like music. I used to didn't like music in the background or around me. And then I was like, well, it don't make sense. When I go to the coffee shop, I used to go to Starbucks all the time to write in the early morning hours, and they have music playing. I don't have my headphones on or anything like that, and people come in and talk, and that motivate me. And I was like, I'm not gonna say I don't like music playing when I'm writing because I do. And I just took some of my daughter's music, well, she let me use her music, and a couple of her friends gave me permission to use their music, and I was like, okay, I give me myself that cafe vibe since we can't go and sit in like we used to. I just add it to my streams. So yeah, I'm so glad you like it. Me too. Mary said, I know, I love the music. I'm so glad y'all do. That makes me happy. And I'm steady looking for new music to add, probably each month and change up on it a little bit. But if you notice, I love the theme of a coffee shop. So it's going to always have some form of coffee shop things that's going on. And Crow said, I just finished my cup of coffee. Going for another one now. Good D. And three poems down, Marion? Wow, you on a roll. And Crow says, the book I'm writing now is a gay romance. I remember that from yesterday. But I also have two YA fantasy series that I'm brainstorming. I, a friend of mine's in my writing group, she's doing a fantasy, and it is really intriguing to me. I mean, I never really read in fantasy. Well, I guess I have, but that seemed like, whoa, a lot of work. And I really applaud you for that because you have to create your own world and everything. And I have another friend who's doing, oh my God, it's a horror. but it's a lot of fantasy in it. I can't read her work. She is so good. When you read her writing, it is will make you feel that you're a part of it, but it's so horrible. I mean, it haunted me for days. I couldn't talk to her because it freaked me out that bad. But that is an excellent writer if you into that particular genre. It was like it freaked me out. That's all I could say. It was really, really deep because she always talk about her characters and make her characters so real on Twitter. It's like, well, Snowflake said hello to you today. Snowflake blew you a kiss. She talk about how he's dressed and everything, but it's a fantasy world that she created his own system, government system, and it's just dark, really dark. So I'm thinking Snowflake is this wonderful character who is just amazing. And when I read her story, and he was the MC in one of her stories, and it was just a scene. It just grabbed my heart and squeezed the life out of it. That's how how deep it was. And when I say horrible, I mean that's her goal is to make it so gut wrenching that it will freak you out, and it freaked me out so bad. Like I said, I couldn't talk to her for a week because she scared me. She scared me that bad. I was like, how can you write something like that? And be such a sweet kind of, it was like, where did this darkness come from? So yeah, I can't read her work. That's just not my genre. So I tend to shy away from her stuff. So anyway, enough of that. Let's go into a let's do a 40-minute writing sprint because time is going by so fast, and I must be extremely productive. I was like this yesterday, so I need this. Okay, that completes our 40-minute writing sprint. Um, we've been talking about books, 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 books. So, have you created your reading list, or how many books you read, or what's your reading goal for the year? Thanks, Crow, for bringing that to my attention. I hadn't filled out my Goodreads form yet. I got an email the other day, so I think my reading goal. She said 50. Well, he said 50. I think my cousin told me 52. And Crow said, "What you gonna do?" I like what Crow said. Where is it? Oh, okay. Crow said, "I made mine 50 so that I can have 2 extra weeks in case I decide to tackle a rather large book I can't finish in a week or need a break." I like that idea. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna do that too. Um, let's see, what did you do during this hour and a half? So crows have 373 words, but I feel like there are good words. I'm elaborating on a lot of this chapter. This went so fast. And I feel like I'm more showing instead of telling how the character's feeling, which is good. That is excellent. Good writing is always showing instead of telling. That is wonderful. Um, Crow said, "You can't blame a writer for what the characters say." Oh, that's a good quote. That is so true. That is so true. So I revised my character list. I think in the previous draft, I had like, I think 13 characters. And wow, I have 15 characters. Yeah. But these are good characters. I noticed with this here draft, revising everything, this book is really going to introduce you to the people of Peyton County, and which is my fictional town based on a real ghost town in Texas. Um, and I feel really good because they are permanent fixtures in my story that will lead to the second book, except for, the murderer. So, yeah, I'm really, really pleased with this. And, yesterday I was struggling with my um one of the characters' names. She was a red heron. She's not gonna be a red heron now. Ida Mae Brown was her original name. I changed it to Verna Mae Brown, which is Aunt Ivy's best friend. And my book, Cozy, is gonna be more comical now, in my opinion. Even with Bay, Bay is not my MC anymore. So I'm loving how this story is being revised. It has me laughing while I'm writing it. And these are characters, in these cozy mysteries, in these little towns, the characters supposed to be quaint and crazy and kooky and all this other stuff. So I'm loving it. I'm really feeling the real vibe of a good, serious yet cozy, humorous mystery. So yeah, let's get started with let's wrap this up with a 7-minute wrap up. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. So anyway, that completes our writing sprint today. You mentioned. I hope it has sarcastic comedy. I love sarcastic characters. Yeah, we're gonna have a few adults. I think the scene, well, Ain't obvious sort of sarcastic herself, so it's just the interactions is gonna be hilarious to a point. Um, and I said that Verna may not be a red herring. Well, I just wrote she's a red herring because they now be going to start suspecting the whole town. So just about the whole town could be the suspects. So I'm focusing on just the main characters. I said 15 characters. Actually, it's 13. Subtract that from the victim, which leaves 12 characters in the story. So it's going to be interesting. I'm really, really liking this story. Oh my gosh, that is really good. You deserve some sound today. Congratulations. That is wonderful. So, yes, y'all be sure to continue to work on your story throughout the day if you have time. Just utilize all the opportunities we have. That's what I'm gonna do today. After I get my daughter up, I'm gonna come back and finish working on this because I am on a roll. Oh, you're more than welcome. I enjoyed this because I find myself more productive when I stream with you live. So I will be back tomorrow, same time. So I'll see you then. Until then, y'all be safe, enjoy the day, and happy writing.